In the introduction of corrections, the point basically in this is the correctional system includes their idea of reducing crime, protecting children, and increasing safety. The penal system structure of agencies administer a jurisdiction, prison, and community-based programs like parole and probation boards. This is a growing field. From 1972 to 2008, there was 705% inmate growth. It's basically $75 million annual cost for a correction system, the highest incarceration rate basically in many, many countries. Another area is basically the history of our correction system and other correction systems around the world. We're basically a new country. Places like the Middle East will do things like blood feuds. Correlation to the U.S. is like Hatfields and McCoys. But the Middle East is pretty primitive, where it's not always the crime you do, but if you don't have a proper education in a modern society, if you like an eye for them, or if you don't follow God's rule, it's easy for them to incarcerate you. Even the sick that cannot be cured are incarcerated. The incarceration rate really varies, but the United States is 555 per 100,000, where in England it's only 219 per 100,000. Because of that, usually America is the only one that has to deal with overcrowding. England is not really subject to that at all. Biggest difference in sentencing is the United States. Usually their longevity is 63 months, where in England or Australia or even Germany, it's anywhere from 32 months to maybe 2 years. We are 5 times more in the United States than any other country. Another reason is we now incarcerate for drug offenses up to 5 years. And also, the other areas would be that in day reporting for centers in correction, in helping with flexibility, cost effectiveness, and expanding the concept. But in the United States, they would have day programs, but they don't seem to help as much because a lot of people were sent back into the streets after a lot of state mental institutions closed down, and ended up that those people ended up in our system. The difference in custody is that we try and have a lower offending rate, is that we offer a risk needs assessment, reinforcement, ongoing support, and that seems to help quite a bit. Another area is that we find that women now are being incarcerated. And this is an area for women that usually it's only prisons were for men. But now a lot of women had drug and alcohol dependencies. And because of this, we have to deal with that, and that they could be pregnant. We have to give prenatal care, postnatal natal care, and care for the baby. For mental illness, almost 20% of mental illness are in our incarcerated at this time. Like I said in the past, a lot of it is because we thought they'd have community-based programs, but we didn't. Funding wasn't there. Another area that we look at is parole. And parole, basically, if you are sentenced to less than 30 years and your offense occurred before 1987, you can write an appeal and see if that can be looked at before you enter your incarceration time.